Okay, two things: feel and control. These are two aspects that pro drummers thrive in, and it's usually how you can tell a pro drummer from a drummer that's not so experienced. So how do you actually work on these things? How do you work on improving your feel on the kit and improving your control around the drums? There are a bunch of ways, but in this video, we're going to focus on one topic: ghost notes. Ghost notes are the one thing that you can actually easily practice and get better at, and by improving the way you play ghost notes, you will improve your feel behind the kit and your control over what you're doing. Okay, so here's the game plan. I'm going to explain why ghost notes are so important. I'm then going to show you how to play them in the most optimized way. Then I'm going to give you some exercises and grooves to practice that will undoubtedly improve how you play ghost notes on the kit. So why are ghost notes so important? Well, they add depth to your playing, in a sense of that when you play a groove, you can slot in ghost notes that don't add or detract from what you're doing. They just add a bit more layers to the complexity of what you're playing. Basically, ghost notes just make things sound cool, and they give you more to hold onto when you're playing a groove. And the big thing ghost notes do is they improve your feel. The better a drummer is at playing ghost notes on the snare drum, most of the time, the better their feel is behind the kit. However, to play ghost notes really well, you need to have good technique, and that's where control comes in. The more control you have, the better you can play those ghost notes, which then makes your feel better. So we need to start there. So how should you be playing ghost notes, and how do you have control over them? Well, there are a few different ways. Drummers have different techniques that they like to do, but for me, here's how I do it. You ideally want your ghost notes to sound really subtle on the drums, and the best way of doing that is lowering the volume as much as you can. And to play quiet ghost notes, what I do is I drop the stick instead of lift my wrist to actually strike the snare. So basically, less stick height equals lower volume. There's a second thing to take note of though, is to play the quietest ghost notes possible. Try not to hit the snare drum right in the center, because that's how you get the most volume. It's a good idea to slightly move your stick off to the side. Okay, so let's use those technique ideas and that whole mindset to actually apply it to some grooves. I'm going to show you several grooves here. They all incorporate ghost notes in some way, and as you play through each one, you're going to be experiencing a different aspect of playing ghost notes in different rhythms and different positions within grooves. So for groove 1, it's just 2 bars. You're going to be playing the ghost note after the backbeat in the first bar and the ghost note before the backbeat in the second. For groove 2, you're just doing a single stroke between your snare drum and hi-hat, and you're going to alternate your hands, and then you're just going to move your right hand over to the snare drum to play the main backbeat on beat 2 and 4. The rest of the time, you are playing ghost notes with your left hand. Groove 3 is one of the trickier ones. What we're doing here is working on your left hand control. So you're going to play consistent 16th notes as ghost notes, but then you're going to do backbeats on beat 2 and 4. we're going to just take a break here because I need to speak about the sponsor for today's video, Songmaster. Songmaster is a piece of software that you can download onto your computer, and it works as basically a really powerful AI tool that analyzes songs. There's so much to do with the software, but basically how I use it is I will mainly use it as a part remover. So I'll use it to load in a song and remove the drums so that I can play along to the track without hearing the drums. Oppositely, I can isolate the drums to just hear what the drum part is doing. So there are lots of apps that are like this, but the reason I love Songmaster so much is, number one, it's software on the computer. I prefer working on my computer next to my drum kit as opposed to using an app on my phone. The second big reason I absolutely love Songmaster is because it is a once-off payment, where all those other apps that do part remover are kind of pay monthly for the rest of time. So you have to just be locked into that. Whereas with Songmaster, you just pay once, have it forever. I've just incorporated this into my workflow with my laptop and when I practice, and it's just so nice to have it there. And again, there are so many options here that I haven't even touched. It's a really in-depth AI song analyzing tool. For example, you put in a song and it just recognizes the bars for you, like the song layout, which is incredible. If you want to check out Songmaster, I've put a link in the description of this video. For this next groove, we're going to incorporate quick ghost notes before the backbeat on 2 and 4. We're going to do a similar thing here, except we're going to turn those into triplets. Similar thing here as the last one, but we're going to play more triplets to make this a bit more complex. This groove is one of the ultimate challenges. If you have good control, you will be able to play this. If you don't have good control, you will struggle here. So make sure you play this slowly and then build it up and really work at controlling exactly where you play those ghost notes. While we looked at ghost notes in this video, that is only one aspect that takes you on the road to becoming a professional sounding drummer. There are so many more things to know about, and there are big mistakes that you might be making right now that are holding you back from getting there. If you want to know what some of those mistakes are, check this video out where I outlined 7 big mistakes that drummers make.